looking at the photograph of the pattern, right-clicking, and we're going to copy the image. Then we're going to switch over to Inkscape and paste that photograph for the moment into Inkscape. Now what we want to do is trace the outline. So we're going to use the pen tool, and we're going to sort of trace each piece, the major parts. And you can do curves later, but you can also just do lots of clicking so that you're making a piece that just keeps clicking down, down, down. So I'm doing the sleeve part. And it doesn't have to be too exact. Obviously, the more exact you have it, the more realistic it'll be. But keep going like that until I come back around to my starting point. And if I click where I started, it creates a full piece. And I want to make the fill no fill. And then I could also change the settings of that outline and such, but I can do that. And then I'll start my next piece. So I'll start here and do the front. And it happens that not only do I want to test a couple different fabrics here, but I actually am planning to make the jacket shorter. So I'm going to click over and make it shorter. Now I have to go all the way back around, even though I've already traced this line, because this is, I'm making whole pieces. And I didn't come back to my start. There we go. When I come back to my start, it'll end automatically. And I do the collar all in one piece, even though it actually folds across. Etc. And I would go around and do that for each of the pieces. And I'm going to shorten this by not going all the way around because I actually already did this. I even made little buttons. And so once I'm actually done tracing the pieces, I'm actually going to get rid of the photograph. And I just have an outline of the pieces. So if we switch over to the one that I'm about to use, you saw a quick preview of the other ones I've already done. Here's the outline. And what I've done is gone to the website and I did a screenshot where I captured what the pattern looks like. Now, one of the things you're going to have to do is resize your screenshot, try and guess how big it's going to be relative to the size of the person. So you could look at the pattern or sort of estimate it's going to be a certain, the front will be a certain width, and then try and look at how big the print is and sort of approximately resize it. So once you paste in the screenshot, you want to resize it. You can use this width and height of the selection up here to resize things to an approximate size. But this has a pretty big squares. I've resized it and I have it kind of as a swatch. So I'm going to keep that as a swatch and I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste another copy of it over the jacket. Then I'm going to go to Object, lower to the bottom. So it goes behind. And now I'm going to select, I've already selected the fabric, and I'm going to hold the Shift key and also select one of the pattern pieces. Then I go under Object, Clip, Object, Clip, Set Clip, and it conforms the fabric to that pattern piece. Now, it would be a little bit hard because, of course, the fabric, this is only a rough approximation. The fabric is not going to bend in a certain way. So if you were really planning to match the fabric, match stripes, match motifs, it would take a lot of work to make that look realistic. But in fact, here, because of fabric limitations, I'm not planning to match it. So I actually kind of wanted to see how bad it would look if it didn't look all matched. So now I do this again. And by the way, if you just want to do colors, the other option is just to choose each fabric piece. And if it's a solid color, you could choose the fill from the bottom that best matches the color. So I've done that in the past too. And the nice thing is you just have this really nice realistic view of what the final pattern looks like. But if you have fabric that has patterns, this clipping thing is really cool. So now I'm going to put it over the sleeve. Again, I'm going to send it to the back, lower to the bottom. The fabric is already selected. I'm going to hold shift and select a pattern piece. And again, go to clip, set clip. Just to make it a little bit more varied here, this time when I select the fabric, I'm just going to rotate it so that I end up with something a little bit different looking, maybe place it a little bit different. Oops. Send to bottom. Select the other sleeve. Got 2 more pieces to go here. Maybe I'll rotate once to really get it looking different. Send to bottom. And final piece. And you notice I traced the outline of the welt pockets, but I just left that on top. I didn't bother to clip a separate thing for that. All right, so now we can see what this jacket would look like, quite mismatched, right? Not lined up with this fabric. And I flashed through 2 other ones I'm contemplating. So here's doing a diagonal plaid, and also that same fabric where I rotated the scrap 45 degrees before clipping it to see, do I want to do it straight or diagonally? And that gives me lots of decisions to make about whether I want to do this jacket and in what fabric I want to purchase for the project.